Good evening, everyone.
Dr. Pooja
So,
Gaur is
first of all,
currently
I would
working
like
as
to
Junior
thank
Scientific
the
Officer
FN Alumni
Nutrition in
Association and
Department
all
of
the
Sports Nutrition,
organizing
Netaji
committee members
Subhash
of this
National
webinar
Institute
to
of
provide me
Sports
such an
at Patiala.
opportunity
She is working with
to
elite
share my
Indian athletes
experiences
since
on this
past
platform.
6 years,
Today, I
and
will
she
be
has
talking about
completed
some of
her
the challenges
International
which I
Olympic Committee
faced
Diploma in
as
Sports
a sports
Nutrition with a
nutritionist
fellowship.
and how we
She
are
pursued
moving
her
forward
doctorate
to improve the
from
level of
our
sports
own
nutrition in
department
India.
of Foods and Nutrition, as well as her BSc and MSc
To
from
start
our
with, I would like
department.
to give a brief
As we can see,
introduction
she
of
has won gold
various
medal at all the levels.
stakeholder
So we welcome you,
organizations
Pooja,
which
for your
are working
presentation today.
to manage and improve the sports in India.
Thank you very much, Vijay
These
Ji.
major organizations are basically sports federations, then Ministry of Sports, Indian Olympic Association, and there are some private promoters working towards it. If you look at the sports federation, they are basically autonomous bodies which are affiliated to global federations of specific sports. They manage sports activities in country like organizing championships, recommending coaches, athletes for various training camps, and for different awards. If we look at the role of sports ministry, it basically supports federations in terms of infrastructure and resources which are to be provided to athletes through various organizations like Sports Authority of India, Sports Authority of different states, and some other organizations like Army Sports Institute and so on. Recently, Sports Ministry has started organizing some multi-sporting events. Multi-sporting events are basically those events in which more than one sports, like around 10, 12 sports are being held at a particular time, like Commonwealth Games, Asian Games, Olympics. So like that in India, the Sports Ministry has started some events like Halo India, University Games to give boost to young athletes, and it is also promoting sports for general population, physical activity in general population through some movements like Fit India. Indian Olympic Association, basically it is affiliated to IOC, and it generally lies between National Sports Federation, IOC, and Sports Ministry for organizing multi sporting events. And there are some private promoters which are working towards again providing infrastructure, financial and human resource support to budding athletes. They generally adopt some athlete from various sports, and they help for their training as well as providing scientific support. So some of these organizations are like Jindal Steelworks, which we call JSW, Olympic Gold Quest, Reliant Foundation. So all these stakeholders are working towards betterment of sports. If a person is working as a sports nutritionist, he or she can basically either work as private, he or she can start her own private consultancy, or can give part-time consultancy to sports clubs, federations, or even government agencies, or can work full-time with these uh, organizations. Coming to the institute in which I am working, it is Netaji Subhash National Institute of Sports. It is one of the premier institute of Sports Authority of India. It is a major academic center because most of the professional coaches are being trained at our center. It is a center of National Center of Excellence for different sports. Then we organize training camps for different athletes who are preparing for Olympics, and we have some schemes for general population as well. Basically at NIS we have Faculty of Sports Sciences, under which there are 7 departments, and these 7 departments work in integration to provide scientific support to the athletes. These are the activities, some basic activities of Department of Sports Nutrition. Like we are involved in academics also. We provide support to National Center of Excellence through preparing menus for mess, supervising hygiene and quality, and as well as nutritional assessment and individualized diet counseling. So if we talk about the key areas of focus, what challenges I faced during working in the area of sports nutrition. The main key area is nutritional counseling. As we all know, all sports nutritionists, whether you are working in private or you are working in some government sector, first major goal is counseling. Whether it can be group counseling, it can be individualized diet plan. So when I started my work at NIS, what I found is there are a lot of differences what we teach in, what we study in theory, and when it comes to applying it practically. So because when I joined, there was no one to guide me, no senior in the area of sports nutrition to guide me. I started looking of my own, like various literature available in sports nutrition. Plus, the one thing which I did was I joined my IOC diploma in sports nutrition. And the best thing of that diploma was I get to interact with various nutritionists working all over India, sorry, all over the world. Plus, we got to interact with our mentors who are basically directors of this course, and they are basically those uh, who are formulating guidelines of sports nutrition around the world. Another main area which I would like to focus is knowing the athlete and the sport. So when we say what all we know about the sport is, we generally focus on physiology of sport, biochemistry of sport, but sometimes we need to know beyond these things, like what are the regulations, rules and regulations of a particular sports, how the athlete move around, what is the schedule when they go for competition, when they train. So all these things are very important to know. I would like to give a simple example here. Like once I was discussing some recovery strategies with the national boxing team, because they generally lose weight prior to their competitions, and they want to discuss some recovery issues. I simply suggested them one strategy, like you just rinse your mouth in between your bouts, because they were using plain water for rinse your mouth. So they said no, we cannot do that because it is not allowed in our sport. But I was very surprised, because I had read these recommendations for boxers in a very reputed journal. So ultimately what I came to know, that these use of mouth rinsing with some other liquids or fluids are allowed in professional boxing, but they are not allowed in amateur boxing. So these small little rules, regulations, when we are working with top level athletes, we need to know these things, and we get to know these things while interacting with athletes, while interacting with coaches. Another main issue which we generally face is how to deal with supplements, because athletes heavily rely on the supplements, because they think it's a quick way to get the maximum level of performance. But there are lots of issues regarding supplements. I will not go much deep in that, because we have one more talk on specifically on supplements. But I would like to say, even even for small basic supplements like whey protein, I have seen in even a particular brand, you will find more than 5 or 6 types of whey protein only. And here I am not talking about just isolates or hydrolysates. I am talking about they are adding certain their proprietary enzymatic blends, some other herbal components, even in these kind of basic sport supplements. So we need to educate the athletes and create awareness. That is the ultimate goal which I try to do, because we cannot always be there with the athlete. We have at NIS we have generally around 300 athletes at a time, which we generally cater. So creating awareness is most important because athlete is traveling also, he is going abroad also. So while creating awareness, generally I focus mainly on food labeling also and supplement labeling also, because whenever you are going abroad you have to pick certain food, so you need to know what things are there in that food or supplement. Then another key area of challenge is food service management. If you are working in a, if you have working as, you have started your own consultancy, you need not to worry about this. But if you are planning to work in any government sector or even private promoters, this is a major area which we, as a sports nutritionist, we have to work. At NIS, we generally are involved in menu planning of athletes. Plus, sometimes we get involved in the costing, because if we want to introduce any particular food, so we have to look at the cost also, like it should come within the cost. Plus, we have to again educate the athletes that we are serving this new food, you should try it, you should eat it. We try to give them what are the benefits of those particular items which we are offering new. So because we are doing this, because ultimately if there is no consumption of that healthy food, ultimately the administrators will scrap that particular food item slowly from the menu. Generally, we serve to athletes basically in the form of buffet. So again, educating the athletes is very important, because in buffet, athlete can pick unhealthy food also, and he can pick the unhealthy also. So we have a very elaborate menu for all 3 meals: breakfast, lunch, dinner. In breakfast, we generally serve breads, cornflakes, mueslis, then some Indian dish, breakfast dish, then porridges, different porridges like ragi porridge, quinoa porridge, oats porridge, so different kind of porridge. Then 3 or 4 varieties of eggs we generally offer, and sometimes we offer salami, sausages, fresh fruit juices are there in their breakfast, plus milk is also there. So all these kind of, and we also offer these pulse salads basically in the breakfast. So similarly, for lunch and dinner also we have elaborate menu. But sometimes again, what issue I follow is we are not able to provide some proper recovery meals to the athletes. Generally, because generally whenever we discuss about, we read about sports nutrition, we read that you have to have around 4 to 5 meals, pre training meal, post training meals. So we generally provide simple things to the athletes like fruits, milk, dry fruits to serve as recovery meal. But again, a proper recovery meal we are not able to provide, because there are lots of differences in training schedule of different athletes, and we still don't have so much of infrastructure to cater these things. But we are planning to add some granola bars, chicky kind of things to the meal of the athletes, so that they can serve as a ready to eat recovery snack for them. Then recently, Sai has recruited various nutritionist, chefs, plus catering manager to our various centers. Earlier, it was only NIS where we used to run our own mess, but in other centers, it was generally given to some contractor, to some catering establishment. So the quality was not being maintained. So to improve that quality, We have recruited various nutritionists, chefs, and catering manager. Another important area which we need to work for the high performance for an high performance athlete is managing eating while he is traveling or he is going for major sporting events. There are various countries like USA, UK, Australia. They start planning from a scratch, like when their athletes are going to go for a particular event. They take approval for taking their supplements, for establishing some launch kind of thing there, so that athletes can come there and they can offer their food of their liking and their interest. So on that lines, sports ministry last year it announced that we will also have one India House during Tokyo 2021 Olympics. So we hope that we are working towards that thing, and we should able to deliver it properly. Another key focus area in SAI is basically working towards developing human resources. Like government recognized that there is a lack of specialized sports nutritionists in India. So 2 years back, Ministry of Sports has collaborated with 5 universities which are offering MSc Sports Nutrition courses, and NIN is one of them. Before the lockdown in February, we at NIS there were six or seven students of MSc Sports Nutrition. They had come to NIS for a 2-week internship, and we are working in collaboration to increase the duration of internship for these students. Another major area is educating the coaches, because we are basically the one who are offering the major diploma in sports coaching, which is recognized as a professional degree for coaches all over the India. So till now it was a very basic theoretical nutrition curriculum which we were following, but we have not now we are adding some practical approaches, like some case studies we are adding, how to read labels. So various practical aspects we are trying to add in this curriculum. So last area which I would like to discuss is research. Research is one area in which we are not able to do very well quality studies in this area. In India also, if we see with various only few organizations which are doing some significant research in the area of sports nutrition, there are some issues when we talk about research in sports nutrition. One of those issues is all studies which we do have to be focused on different between recreational athletes and elite athletes. So these are the major issues which we generally face while conducting quality research in the area of sports nutrition. If I talk about NIS, recently we are in the process of establishing research kitchen where we can develop specialized sports food, which can be like granola bar or recovery drinks, which can be used by our athletes during their training and competition. So that's all from my side. Thank you for your patience listening.
Thank you, Pooja.